Hi there! Did you ever want to have a quad view in Blender that actually works? Stick around. In this video, I'll show you how to create your own. It's quick and easy, and I'll tell you what you need to look out for. My name is Christina, and this video is the answer to a question another artist asked. Daniel Bartke is making a series about a medieval battle axe. It's a great asset, and in the first video, he did the block out in Blender. Most likely you came from his video, but if you found mine by chance, I will link to his video on the description below. If you haven't seen it yet, have a look at it, subscribe to Daniel's channel, like and share, do all that YouTube stuff. In that first video, Daniel asked if it is possible to enlarge one of the areas of Blender's built-in QuadView. And the answer is no, which makes it pretty useless in my opinion. If you want to have a look at that thing, you can exit it using the shortcut Ctrl+Alt+Q or by going to the View menu and then Area, toggle Quad View. But let's forget about it. I changed the modeling workspace a long time ago, doing my own like we will do in a few minutes. Mine looks like this. I use this layout instead of the classical Quad View for reasons that I'll save for another video. In that second video, I will also talk about how I don't need a keyboard or those icons in the toolbars to work with Blender, most of the times at least. If you are curious about that, stay tuned. The video is already recorded, I just have to find the time to edit it. From a technical sense, you can press Ctrl+ in each of those viewports to make it full window. You see? This works with all of them. I don't do that. I just change the viewpoint here in the large area, and you can always see which one you are in up here. It's really simple to change the view using the numpad. And if you don't have a numpad, don't worry. You can go to View, Viewpoint, and add either the whole menu or the single options to your Quick Favorites menu. If you are using the numpad, forget about these shortcuts involving the Control key to switch to the opposite view. It's easier to do that with just one key, which is the 9 on the numpad. So instead of using Ctrl+1 for the back view as shown here, you just press 1, and with 9 you can then toggle between the front and the back view. 1 is the front view, 3 is the right view, and 7 is the top view. And you can toggle between each of these and their opposite view using 9. You can even turn your perspective view around, like this. So I prefer this layout, but if you want to use the classical quad view, no problem. How to get there is the same, and I will show you how. But before you start working, please save your startup file. I can't stress that enough. Most likely you don't want to do this every time when you create a new file or open Blender, but want to save it so you have it always available. And to save it, you have to overwrite your startup file. Well, if you only have the default stuff in the startup, the one camera, one light, and that poor default cube that keeps getting deleted, it doesn't matter because those objects come with the factory settings. So in that case, if you're not happy with something, just load the factory settings and you're good to go. But look at mine. When I open Blender for a new project, I just want to select the base shoe I need for my next client and start working. I want those to be available in the correct location so that I don't have to search for any assets, adjust the location and stuff like that. If you have a setup like this, you for sure don't want to lose it, and this means you have to back up your startup file. When you install Blender, the startup file is located in your user folder. On Windows, it's in your user folder, App Data, Roaming, Blender Foundation, the Blender version, and I believe then there is a config folder. I'm not sure. I don't install Blender at all, but I use more than one portable version. For that, you need to create a folder called Portable directly in the folder where you've unpacked the zip file that contains Blender. In older versions, we had to create a config folder, but you don't have to do that anymore. Just create the portable folder before you start Blender and it will write everything needed in there. And if you go to that folder, you will find the startup file under config. Copy that file and save it somewhere else. And Once we've created our own quad view, we will go to the File menu, Defaults, and save the startup file. You can see this dangerous command to reset to the factory settings is directly beneath it, so please be careful. Now that you know what to keep an eye on, let's create our own quad view. You can either modify the existing modeling workspace like I did, or create a new one, which I will show you now. There are two options for creating a new workspace, and I will only cover the option that I personally use because it's quicker. For the other option, you would click on the plus button here, then look for the workspace you want to use as the starting point. Be prepared to fiddle around if you don't want the new workspace to be the last tab or the very first tab, and that is the reason I don't use this option. Luckily, we can just duplicate a workspace, and the new one is sorted directly behind the one we duplicated. You can use any of these. It really doesn't matter whether you use sculpting, geonodes, or shading as the base. Grab whichever you want and start from there. In some cases, you may already get the layout you want. You might have to switch the editor to the 3D view, but that's all. And you can do that quick and easy like that. I choose my already modified workspace so I can show you how to get rid of areas you don't want. So let's make those four one large area again. If you hover over one of the borders, you will see a double arrow. Right-click and this context menu shows. When we click on one of the vertical borders, we see Join Right and Join Left. And if we click on a horizontal border, we see Join Up and Join Down. It doesn't make sense to try merging this large area with any of the smaller ones. It's easier and quicker to just combine the smaller areas here into one viewport and then join that to the large area. So I join these three down, followed by joining left, and I'm back to one large viewport. For the next step, I make sure to hide the toolbar and the end panel for now. To create new areas, we use the border menu again to select either a vertical or horizontal split. There is another option that was already available in old Blender versions, but it requires more attention and offers no advantages. Just so you know, if you see other creators using a small cross in the corner of the viewport, that is the other option. I will not demonstrate that, we use the menu commands. Whether you do the horizontal or vertical split first, that depends on the layout you want to achieve. It doesn't matter at all when it comes to the quad view, so let's start with the vertical split. You drag that line, click the left mouse button, and there you have it. And to create a quad view, we simply do a horizontal split in each of the two viewports. Now we just need to select which view we want to see in each area. To do this, I use the shortcut keys again. So 1 for the front, 3 for the right, and 7 for the top. If you had the toolbar or end panel visible before creating the new areas, they would also be active in the new viewports, which can make things look really busy. I don't like that, so I hide them before I do the splits. You can hide most of the elements in each viewport individually. One thing you can't hide separately is the axis in the top right corner. I use the simple one because I can't see any advantage in the new interactive one. I will talk about that in the next video. I have the overlays and some other viewport stuff like the header in my quick favorites menu, so I can quickly hide what I don't want to see. And that's it. You've created your own multiple view layout, in this case the classical quad view. Now you just have to save it. Go to the workspace that you want to see when you start Blender or open a new file. And then you click on File, Defaults, Save Startup File, and confirm that you want to override it. To delete a workspace, right-click on its label and use the Delete command. Then we have to save the startup file again. If I don't do that and open a new file from the File menu, the workspace comes back because I didn't save the startup file after deleting it. That's it. If you have questions, please ask in the comments. And if you found this video useful, please like and share it. Make sure to subscribe, which is free, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next videos. Hope to see you there. Until then, have a great time and happy blendering. Bye bye.